Hello and welcome everyone back to Leal Legacy's Radnarok. Or should I say, Saludos Amigos. If you read the title, that makes more sense to you. Why wouldn't you read the title, though, before listening to a podcast? I don't know. Unless it was like on some sort of like shuffle feature on your phone and you're driving and you're not looking at it, you're working out. I can see it. So maybe some of you haven't read the title, so that doesn't necessarily make sense yet. I don't know. What else? Another thing that I don't know if it makes much sense or not is conventionally I've been calling these episodes Radnarok breakdowns. Now, I coined the term Radnarok to play off the podcast's title, Radnarok, with the idea of the Radnarok episodes would not be at a as high of a production caliber as conventional Radnarok episodes. But so far, these Radnaroks have been all done at, my computer. So I think I'm going to have to change that. If you know me too, I love a good reset, but I'm not going to reset. I just think I like the term like companion podcast. It'll still be called a breakdown, but I don't think I'm going to be throwing it into the Radnarok realm of things, as they're not as bad. You know what I mean? When it comes to like production value. Sure, I clear my throat and cough more frequently, but that, I don't know, that doesn't constitute a bad instead of a rad. It's still pretty rad sounding, at least, right? Comparatively to when I would do on my phone. Anyway, that's what's going through my head. So going further, these companion podcasts, I think will drop the Radnarok moniker and just be Radnarok episodes. I'll still do Radnarok type episodes, just actually bad, Gonna live up to the name. So welcome to the companion podcast and breakdown for Saludos Amigos 1942. From 1942. It's not called Saludos Amigos 1942, which is a way tougher name. I don't know. If you put a year in the title, it just makes the name sound tougher. I don't know. To me, at least. Yeah, Saludos Amigos. Now, I don't ever recall seeing the film in its entirety as a youth, but I do recall seeing some of the various shorts that collectively complete this film as a film. You know what I mean? It feels like a bunch of small parts pieced together to make a greater whole. So, February 19th, 1943, this film was released in the United States. Now, 1942, I believe, was a localized release in maybe South America. Because this movie, the story here, or stories here, take place in South America, which is very interesting. It's a little short pitch line. Disney animators tour South America and present 4 animated shorts inspired by their trip. Now, like I said, I don't think I ever saw this as a movie when I was a kid, but I do recall at least 2 out of those 4 shorts pretty clearly in my mind. Directors Wilfred Jackson, Jack Kinney, Hamilton Luske, Luske, Luske. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who've been following along, you know already. But if this is your first, and it very well might be, I'm incredibly dyslexic, so there's a lot of times, especially with names, I don't know how to pronounce it. So I'll spell it out for you, and you can figure out the pronunciation yourself. Anyhow, Bill Roberts and Norman Ferguson, all sequence directors for Saludos Amigos, with the exception, actually, of Norman Ferguson, who was a supervising director. Let's see. We've got some writing credits, story and research. Ted Sears, William Cottrell, Webb Smith, Homer Brightman, Ralph Wright, Roy Williams, Harry Reeves, Dick Humor. We know Dick Humor. We know that name, I believe, well, we definitely know them from the classic cartoon commentaries we do over on our YouTube channel. But also, I feel like that name's popped up in previous Disney featured animated films. And Joe Grant. Old Joe Grant. Our cast is our lovely narrator, whose voice I just love. I feel like this guy's narrated quite a few Disney shorts, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but you know what? We can just look at his credits on here. I don't know why we wouldn't. Fred Shields. Let's take a peek. Yes, Fred Shields does narrate another Disney featured animated feature, the one that follows Saludos Amigos directly, The Three Caballeros. But also, he does. Okay, so growing up, some of my all-time favorite cartoons were those Goofy shorts for like how to play golf or how to play basketball or whatnot and what now. Yeah, and it's the same voice actor, which I don't know if he's just a voice actor, but I most notably remember him as a voice actor. But he's the same guy. So in all those really fun Goofy shorts that I adore, this is our narrator, Fred Shields. And that's really fun because he's really, I always thought it was so, he did such a wonderful job narrating these shorts where he felt as if he was, it felt, I don't know how he felt, it felt as though he was speaking directly to the viewer and Goofy or whatever other animated character that was featuring in the short. He had a really good way, or was really good at kind of, I don't know, straddling that fourth wall. He existed within the cartoon itself, but, you know, it felt as though he was speaking directly to the viewer. I don't know. Really cool, really fun. A lot of my favorite cartoon memories include Fred Shields. So already right there, Saludos Amigos is a win with Fred Shields narrating. So the rest of our cast, we have but the clearing the throat does not constitute a Radnarok, I'm telling you. Let's see. Rest of the cast, Jose Oliveira, which is two names of two different Brazilian MMA fighters rolled into one. Jose Oliveira voices Jose Carioca, our parrot friend, our cigar smoking parrot pal, Jose Carioca. I like Jose Carioca. I don't know. I don't feel like they underplay him in the rest of like the Disney merchandising and promotion and like fun fair at the Farks. Fun fair at the parks. I believe in Epcot, the Three Caballeros feature. They're part of a ride. I don't know. As of the recording of this, I have not fully explored Epcot down at Disney World, but I feel like I've seen YouTube videos of, vloggers encountering Jose Carioca. Who else we got here? We got Lee Blair as Lee Blair. We've got Mary Blair as, get this, Mary Blair. Stuart Buchanan is our flight attendant. Pinto Colvig, our old dear friend, Pinto Colvig. Again, a name we recognize from our YouTube classic cartoon commentaries. Pinto Colvig is Goofy. And then we got Walt Disney as, wait for it, Walt Disney. Norman Ferguson is Norman Ferguson. June Foray is Pedro. Didn't see that coming. Frank Graham is Frank Graham. Clarence Nash is Donald Duck. I wonder how many times Clarence Nash played Donald Duck. And then Frank Thomas is, of course, who else but Frank Thomas? Am I annoying you yet? We got music provided by Edward H. Plum, credited as Ed Plum. Paul J. Smith, credited as Paul Smith. And Frank Churchill, who sadly did not receive a credit. Dang. Production management, Norman Ferguson. Art department, Lee Blair, Mary Blair, James Bodrero. Bodrero. You figure it out. John P. Miller and Herbert Ryman. There's no R really. Herb Ryman. Oh, and I guess John P. Miller was credited as Jack Miller. And then James Bodrero was Jim Bodrero. Okay, now we're getting into like camera and electrical department, which I don't necessarily get into. But the fact that I see Lee Blair's name on everywhere from the cast to the art department to location photographer, shooting in 16 millimeter, in case you were wondering. Yeah, so from what I'm gathering, Lee Blair is one of our Disney, part of the crew. So all these people playing themselves are like Disney animators or, somebody who works as a creator with the Disney company, which is fun. I'm not going to go through the animation department because it's a lot of names, but you can look it up. You can definitely go check it out. I'm not going to stand in your way. I just don't know if reading this list of names is necessarily good podcasting. I like to give credit to the heavy hitters, or whom I consider heavy hitters, just because I I make up rules as I go. Animation department doesn't necessarily seem like things we need to deep dive into. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments and scold me for not paying proper tributes to the full crew here. Did you know the name Jose, part of the name Jose Carioca, is a version of the name Joseph used in Spanish and Portuguese? It is spelled the same in both languages, though there are differences in the pronunciation. So, oops, hit the microphone. There's not a podcast. Actually, when I do the watch-alongs, I'm really good at not hitting the microphone. When I'm not doing a watch-along, I'll hit the microphone. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Jose. That's the name. Jose in Spanish, Jose in Portuguese. And since we're hanging out in Brazil, and Jose Carioca is from Brazil, it's a Portuguese name. He's the only Disney character that speaks Portuguese, which speaks to me because I am Portuguese. But he's Brazilian, Jose. So there's a lot of... It's weird. We're not of the same heritage, but his native tongue is familiar to me. In case you cared. Let's see. Let's go here. Saludos Amigos. Spanish for greetings, friends, or hello, friends, is a 1942 American live action animated package featurette produced by Walt Disney and released by RKO Radio Pictures. It's the 6th Disney animated feature film and the first of the 6 package films produced by Walt Disney Productions in the 1940s. 6 in the 1940s. Set in Latin America, it is made up of 4 different segments. Donald Duck stars in 2 of them, and Goofy stars in 1. And then our little airplane friend stars in another, right? Is that this one? Or is that the 3 Caballeros? I don't know. Anyway, where do we go? It also features the first appearance of our friend Jose Carioca, the Brazilian cigar smoking parrot. His cigar is a staple of his character, which I don't know would fly in this day and age. You don't get a lot of cartoon characters whose shtick, whose iconic feature is smoking of any kind, at least for children. Jose Carioca. Saludo, one more time. Hey, take it from the top. Yeah, cut this out. I don't have anybody editing this. That'd be nice if I did, though. What? Saludos Amigos premiered in Rio de Janeiro on August 24th, 1942. See, that's where the initial from 1942 release year came from. But then it was released in the United States on February 6th, 1943. So there you go. Happens a lot, I'm noticing, in these early Disney films where it'll have a localized release towards the end of one year, and then would you call that a domestic release? Yeah, sure. A domestic release or global release early in the following year, which really makes this movie is from this time interesting to deal with. You know what I really find interesting is that there are 6 live action animated package featurettes. Wait, what am I looking at? It's the 6th Disney animated feature film and the first of the 6. So there were 6 package films produced in the 1940s from Walt Disney Productions, which I find to be really interesting because Saludos Amigos is one of them. Oh, Saludos Amigos is one of them. Then Three Caballeros, and then I think like Make Mine Music, I think is one of them that I don't know if it's currently on Disney Plus. And then Fun and Fancy Free is another one. Okay, this is making more sense to me. And I'm sure it was the convenience of, maybe not convenience. Convenience is probably not the right word. But this sort of filmmaking was probably easier to do given we are in war times in the 1940s or at the time of these releases. Interesting. Let's see. Released 1943. Okay. Saludos Amigos was so... Okay, that's not what that says. Saludos Amigos was popular enough that Walt Disney decided to make another film about Latin America, The Three Caballeros, to be produced 2 years later at 42 minutes. It is the shortest animated feature to date in the Disney canon. You know, when you watch Saludos Amigos and cross over to The Three Caballeros, it almost feels like they collected more than enough footage for Saludos Amigos, and they're like, we really could cut this into 2. Which the more I think about it, makes more sense to me because a big chunk of The Three Caballeros also takes place in South America, not just Mexico. Although I feel like The Three Caballeros has a much more like Mexican flair to the promotion of it, but I guess that is to differentiate the clear South American influences to all the Saludos Amigos promotion and artwork. So, man, if you're not as nerdy and geeky into Disney and animation as I am, this must be kind of boring for you. All right, so, see, here we go. This is what I was talking about a minute ago. A little bit of background here. Sorry, I'm yawning. Still doesn't constitute bad. I don't care. Wait till you hear one recorded on my phone. That'll be bad. But this is all right still. Okay, so what I was alluding to earlier, in 1941, before U.S. entry into World War II, the United States Department of State commissioned a Disney Goodwill tour of South America. Interesting. Intended to lead to a movie to be shown in the U.S. and Central and South America. I said too many ands. As part of the Good Neighbor policy. Interesting. The Good Neighbor policy was the foreign policy of the administration of United States President Franklin Roosevelt towards Latin America. Though the policy was implemented by the Roosevelt administration, President Woodrow Wilson had previously used the term. I'm not going to continue on. That was just a little snippet of what the Good Neighbor policy was. So that's really kind of fascinating that the United States government was like, hey, Disney, take your animators down to Latin America and make a fun movie for all of us to share, bringing us all together. I like that. That's fun. Let's see. This was being done because several Latin American governments had close ties with Nazi Germany. That took a turn. And the U.S. government wanted to counteract those ties. How do you fight? How do you fight Nazis coming into Latin America? You make a Disney movie. You fight Nazis with Goofy and Donald Duck and Jose Carioca. That's really fun. That's cool. No Hitler. Here's Mickey Mouse. I know I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because that makes me like really happy to know that these characters and Disney collectively held such a global impact that it could help sway other nations away from falling into the Nazi way of life. That is so interesting. Let's see. Okay. Mickey Mouse and other Disney characters were popular in Latin America, and Walt Disney acted as ambassador. That's awesome. Let's see. The tour facilitated by Nelson Rockefeller, who had recently been appointed as coordinator of Inter-American Affairs, CIAA, took Disney and a group of roughly 20 composers, artists, technicians, etc., from his studio to South America, mainly to Brazil and Argentina, but also to Chile and Peru. That's just the way it's worded. I think that's kind of funny. I had no idea. Had no flippin' clue that this film was such like it has global importance beyond just being the deep dive into another culture to be presented to Americans. I don't know, man. I did not see this sort of weight coming behind Saludos Amigos. Because Saludos Amigos, I feel like, is the one that gets overlooked by or for. You overlook Saludos Amigos and see the Three Caballeros. But I guess you gotta go Three Caballeros with kind of like all promotion and everything, because what? You're gonna avoid our other friend. What was his name again? Oh my gosh, I'm flaking on his name. Panchito Pistoles, I think is his name. I like him a lot too. Let's see. Yeah, that's his name. Okay. The film itself was given federal loan guarantees because the Disney studio had overextended just before European markets were closed to them. Because of the war. And because Disney was struggling with labor unrest at the time, including a strike that was underway at the time, the Goodwill journey began. Hurrah. The film included live-action documentary sequences featuring footage of modern Latin American cities with skyscrapers and fashionably dressed residents. This surprised many contemporary U.S. viewers who associated such images only with U.S. and European cities and contributed to a changing impression of Latin America. So that just shows how close-minded people in the United States were back then, just assuming that everywhere else beyond the U.S. and Europe had to be some sort of like, they couldn't be, like a metropolis. Okie doke. Where did we go? Okay. Film historian Alfred Charles Richard Jr., that's a lot of names, has has commented that Saludos Amigos, quote, did more to cement a community of interest between peoples of the Americas in a few months than the State Department had in 50 years. Because Disney does it better. What can be said beyond that? The film also inspired Chilean cartoonist Rene Rios Boteguer, Boettiger. You figure it out. To create Condorito. What's that? Condorito is a Chilean comic book and comic strip that features an anthropomorphic condor living in a fictitious town named Pelotiehu, Pelotillehue. You figure it out. I'm just going to make a shirt that says, you figure it out. A typical small Chilean provincial. That was going to be hard to get out. Provincial town. He's meant to be a representation of the Chilean people. Okay, I don't remember Condorito. I don't know. Did that happen after the fact? The film, oh yeah, okay, yes. The film also inspired Chilean cartoonist, to create Condorito. Okay, so because of Saludos Amigos, the inspiration was laid in place for Condorito. Got it. One of Latin America's most ubiquitous cartoon characters. Rios perceived that the character Pedro, a small, incapable airplane. He was totally capable. He was absolutely capable. He did it. He had one, spoiler alert, he had one job. Kind of got sidetracked a little bit, but he completed the mission. Incapable, whatever. Okay, here we go. Here we are. This is weird, actually. Rios, I guess the people of Rio, perceived that the character Pedro, a small incapable plane, whatever, was a slight to Chileans. Or Rios. Did I say people of Rio? Okay, like I said, it's early today. I haven't finished my coffee. Forgive me. All right. Rios is the animator. I'm stupid. Rios is the animator. Okay. So he perceived, is this who, come on, let's get a Peppo. I guess Rene Rios was also known as Peppo. So anyhow, Rios perceived that the character Pedro, the little plane, was a slight to Chileans and created a comic that would supposedly rival Disney's comic characters. Well, I don't feel like it was a slight to Chileans. I don't know if this was a collective feeling by all Chilean people that little Pedro the plane, who was completely and absolutely capable, okay, I wonder if they all felt like it was a slight to them, or if it was just Rios, Rene, Peppo. If it was just Peppo's problem. Well, Peppo's problem led to the creation of Condorito. Condorito. I don't know. That's sad if they didn't see it, if they saw it as like a slight to their culture, but I don't really feel like I understand how. Did it say Chilean people are bad at being airplanes? I don't know. But again, it really just specifically says he felt like it was a slight, or she. I don't know. They, Renee, felt it was a slight to the Chilean people. So it doesn't say Chileans as a whole. So I have no idea. Let's see. Okay, the film segments. This film features 4 different segments. Okay, we talked about this already. Each of which begin with various clips of the Disney artists roaming the country, drawing cartoons of some of the local cultures and scenery. Did all of them start that way? I don't remember. The first of the 4 segments was Lake Titicaca. In this segment, American tourist Donald Duck visits Lake Titicaca and meets some of the locals, including an obstinate llama or llama. Sorry. Okay, and then Pedro. Pedro is the plane that Renee had a problem with. So in the second segment, Pedro is about a small anthropomorphic plane from an airport near Santiago, Chile. Engaging in his first flight to retrieve airmail from Mendoza with dangerous consequences. Okay, here we go. Incapable plane. All right, tell me if this sounds incapable. He manages to safely return to the airfield with the mail, which happens to be a single postcard. Whatever, man. There's no package too small. Or wait, what was I trying to say? Even the smallest package is of the utmost importance to Pedro. So I don't know what Renee's beef with Pedro was. RKO Pictures released this particular segment as a theatrical short on May 13th, 1955. And I recall my first exposure to this short as a independent cartoon all by itself. I was going to further explain. That means not as part of the whole movie. Hang on. I need to get a sip of coffee. Still doesn't constitute a Radnarok. I feel like I could drink coffee and clear my throat like that and hit the microphone again and this still not be bad. Okay, so I really want to start recording episodes from my phone again. And I don't feel like I can call those and these both Radnarok comfortably. Because if I'm recording at a true microphone at my computer with, a mixer and all the pizzazz that goes into podcasting, I don't know. It just doesn't fit the bad. Okay, I'm done explaining myself. Deal with it. You figure it out. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Further insight into our Chilean cartoonist friend, Renee Rios Botahir. Boettiger. Boettiger. You figure it out. Known popularly as Peppo, was disappointed with how the character Pedro represented his country. So it is just Renee's beef. In response, he developed the character Condortito, who went on to become one of the most iconic comic magazine characters in Latin America. Well, I'm glad that it created an original Chilean or just Latin American cartoon character or comic character. I'm glad that happened, but I also do not feel that Pedro was created with the intent to, I don't know, disrespect or mock or as a slight toward the Chilean people in any way. I don't know. You watch it. You watch it and you tell me if it's a poor representation. If anything, it's a commentary on, like, any trouble that Pedro runs into is due to his youth and inexperience. It's not like culturally driven. He's a young plane. This is his first flight to retrieve airmail from Mendoza. So on your first trip, things can get a little hairy, you know? It might feel a little sketchy at times, but that's due to inexperience, due to age, not culture. So, and he still pulled it off. He still successfully nailed it. I don't know. I'm not yawning, you're yawning. I'm not tired, you're tired. The third short in this was, and I really enjoyed this one, was El Gaucho Goofy. Yeah, El Gaucho Goofy. In this segment, American Cowboy Goofy gets taken mysteriously to the Argentinian Pampas. Let's see. The Pampas are fertile South American lowlands that cover more than 1,200,000 square kilometers, or 460,000 square miles, and include the Argentine provinces. I know the word. I knew how to say it. My mouth and my brain just couldn't connect. Provinces. I still can't do it. Of Buenos Aires, La Pampa, Santa Fe, Entre, Rios, and Cordoba. I really should have avoided reading all that because I sounded just super dumb. Pampas, to learn the ways of the native gaucho. So basically, Cowboy Goofy went to go learn how to... American Cowboy Goofy went to go... See, North American Cowboy Goofy went down to South America to learn how to be a gaucho, a South American cowboy. Got it? This segment was later edited for the film's Gold Classic Collection VHS and DVD release to remove one scene in which Goofy is shown smoking a cigarette. So Goofy can't smoke, but Jose Carioca can. And is it because Goofy was smoking a cigarette? Was that more the reason why they had to exclude it, or felt the need to exclude it? Had Goofy been smoking one of Jose's cigars, would it have been more okay? Might have been. Let's see. This edit appears again on the classic Caballeros Collection DVD. This sequence has since been restored as the unedited version has been much requested. People really want to see Goofy smoking a cigarette. The fully unedited version is available as a bonus feature on the Walt Disney El Grupo Walt Disney. Just that was, I don't know. I saw the word Disney, but looking back at it, it's not there. So this was a bonus feature on the Walt and El Grupo DVD release. What is that? Walt and El Grupo is a 2008 American documentary film written by Theodore Thomas. Okay. Neato. When the film was this is not about Walt and El Grupo. This is about Saludos Amigos again. when the film was released on Disney's streaming platform, Disney Plus. Whoa! The edited version of the sequence was used despite disclaimers of the film being presented in its original format, with outdated cultural depictions, and tobacco uses. But it has since been changed to the unedited version. Man, so much back and forth, edited and unedited controversy with El Gaucho Goofy smoking a cigarette. Whoa. Now, was he smoking a cigarette as a cowboy or a gaucho? I'm thinking cowboy. I don't remember. But thank goodness that the unedited version's on Disney Plus, because that's the one we watched. So go back and do the watch along podcast if you haven't already, or if you have already, go do it again and then listen to this again, or listen to this and then go watch it again so you can have some insight into Saludos Amigos. Oh, I had to do it early today, guys. I had to record early today. It's the only time I had available. And now, oh my gosh, my voice is frying out. Hold on. They'd be better with water, but all I got's coffee. So, still not a bad run. Still not bad. Where are we at? Aquarela. Okay, the last of the 4 featurettes is Aquarela do Brasil. Aquarela do Brasil, Portuguese for watercolor of Brazil. The final of the film, or the finale of the film, involves a brand new character, José Carioca, from Rio de Janeiro. Was that the proper accent? I don't think it was. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, showing Donald Duck around South America, having a drink of capacia, sorry, it's Cacha, the little Portuguese C with the little like beard goatee on the bottom, and another A. I couldn't say this to save my life. It's a distilled spirit made from fermented sugarcane juice, also known as pinga, canina, and other names. It is the most popular spirit among distilled alcoholic beverages in Brazil. Outside of Brazil, cachaça. This drink is used almost exclusively as an ingredient. So Donald Duck is sharing one with Jose as Jose introduces him to the samba to the tunes of Brazil and Tico Tico no Fuba. Tico Tico no Fuba. That's a Brazilian choro song written by, why do I put myself in positions to read names I can't pronounce? Zequinha de Abreu. First name was Zequinha de Abreu. Abreu. Anyhow, Brazil music is what it is. Okie doke. Characters, we went through that. The soundtrack here, okay. The film's original score was composed by Edward H. Plum, Paul J. Smith, and Charles Wolcott. The title song, Saludos Amigos, was written for the film by Charles Wolcott and Ned Washington. The film also featured the song Aquarela do Brasil, written by the popular Brazilian songwriter Ari Barroso. Ari Barroso, Ary, Ari, and performed by, oh man, Oloisio de Oliveira. Who is that? Also known as Luis Oliveira, was a Brazilian record producer, singer, actor, and composer. Neato. Let's see. And an instrumental version of Tico Tico no Fuba, written by the individual with that Z name from earlier, Zequina de Abreu. Acorda do Brasil was written and first performed in 1939, but did not achieve much initial success. However, after appearing in this film, it became an international hit, becoming the first Brazilian song to be played over 1 million times on American radio. I presume they mean North American radio. The film's soundtrack was first released by Decca Records in 1944 as a collection of 3 78 RPM singles. Fascinating. Let's see. Theatrically, Saludos Amigos premiered in Rio de Janeiro, on August 24th, 1942. It was released in the United States on February 6th, 1943. As we learned earlier, it was theatrically reissued in 1949 when it was shown on a double bill with the first reissue of Dumbo. So what? Double feature. Saludos Amigos and Dumbo. Tonally very different films. So I wonder what watching those like back to back in the same night was like. Home media in 1995. The film was released on Laserdisc under the exclusive Archive Collection series. Neat. And then it was subsequently released over and over again over the years on DVD, Blu-ray, various, various platforms. Is that what you call that? Platform? DVD? Was that a platform? Right? VHS? All those. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, man. That's everything you didn't know you wanted to know about Walt Disney's Saludos Amigos. So thanks for listening to this here companion podcast. If you haven't already, or even if you have already, give the watch along podcast for Saludos Amigos a listen while watching Saludos Amigos. But you don't have to watch it and listen. You can just listen because I believe you can hear the film in the background. I do know you can hear the film in the background, so you won't be completely lost. But given that it is a watch along podcast, visuals do happen to play somewhat of an important part to really round out the experience. But, don't let me tell you how to live your life. With the exception of, no, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. That would be rude. What I am going to ask is that you visit leallegacy.com. And of course, that's Leal, legacy.com. To scope out all the other killer content we here at Leal Legacy, Digital Media and Design, produce for you. Okay. Of course, this podcast, Radnarok, which I do hope or would hope that you would go and subscribe, rate, review, leave a comment, leave a review, whatever you can on your chosen podcast platform where you listen to all your favorite podcasts, because it'll help folks find the show and be just boost the exposure here. Share this with people you care about. But also at leallegacy.com, you can take a gander at our store. And in our store, we exclusively offer apparel by Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, the Leal Legacy lifestyle brand, is streetwear, apparel, and merchandise featuring designs digitally crafted by me. Presuming you're a Disney fan, there are quite a few Disney-inspired designs that you might like. I like them. Maybe you'll like them too. All the designs are based or created or inspired by, I don't know, things I love in life. So oftentimes there'll be an amalgamation of things I love in life or puns that I think of, such as Radnarok, Yeah, so scope it out. Also, supporting Leal Legacy, the best way to do that is by shopping Skeleton Crew. So hopefully there's something you like. And if not, give me ideas. Give me ideas of something that you may like. I'm open to feedback. And you can send that feedback to contact@leallegacy.com. For podcast specific feedback and inquiries, podcasts with an S at leallegacy.com. And speaking of other podcasts, you can scope out Nerd Cult Underground, a podcast I do with my pal Field Mouse. There are talks of other podcasts coming down the pipes, such as the return of Biff Bam Bort, a podcast I do with my good friends Mike and Ryan. But I don't know yet. We'll see. And hopefully, if you're listening to this way in the future, all this stuff is still available. It will be. It's never going to go away. If anything, if you listen to this in the distant future, our Skeleton Crew catalog is just greater. There's more to it. I've also decided to add to the website kind of like blog posts of what went into each design, like why I designed it that way. Would that be interesting? Just looking for ways to produce more content for you, for all of you. There's a lot of excellent content on our YouTube. If you are a fan of classic or vintage animation, take a peek, look up our classic cartoon commentaries, where sort of like the watch along podcasts, I do watch along commentary to old public domain cartoons. And given that they're public domain, I can just add my commentary. I can layer my commentary right onto the cartoon itself, so there's no worry of having to sync up hitting play on the cartoon with the audio and visual are both in one place. They're shorts, they're cartoons, so you can burn through a bunch of them when you're bored, or watch them before bed, start your day with them. I try to release them to the best of my ability Monday through Friday, but sometimes, given whatever circumstances are at hand, I don't know, life happens. But I do try to remain as consistent as possible with those being Monday through Friday. So, and if there is a lull in their release, I have nearly 200 at this point. I have nearly 200 cartoon commentaries done, so there is no shortage of things to watch or check out on our YouTube. Social media, look us up. Leal Legacy. It's Leal Legacy, at Leal Legacy, whatever. The URL is across all your favorite social media platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere social medias can be done. It's Leal Legacy. Yeah, that's the gist of it. Next will be a breakdown of the three caballeros, and I think at that point the breakdowns and the watch-alongs will be caught up with one another. So neato. Thanks for listening, everybody. I do appreciate it. Hit me with some feedback if you got it. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully this is hitting some unknown needed satisfaction to like Disney nerds. There's a lot of cool Disney content out there in the podcast world, but I feel like it's mostly all driven into like theme park stuff, news and updates, and maybe like movies to come news and stuff like that. I don't know if there's a lot of introspectives on like the Disney animated features and watch-alongs followed by breakdowns of all the interesting tidbits about the movie. So share with your friends. If you know somebody who's a Disney nerd, they might really dig this. So I appreciate it, as always, if you could be a friend and tell a friend. And with that being said, I will catch you next time. See you, everybody.